So I was on YouTube last night, and in my YouTube recommended, guess what video came up? I literally could not believe it.
I
don't
know
why either. It was College Humor Cast 2017 top videos, and it was like you and Trav and like the whole gang saying like my favorite video was like 7-way meet cute and like Zach eating Tide Pods. And I went down memory lane.
Aww.
A wild adventure to go on to revisit all of that work. How often do you go down memory lane with College Humor?
So often, because it's always like recommended to me and
oh my God.
on YouTube, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That your own stuff is, but no, I feel like I like won't watch anything for like a year, and then I'll have a day where I'm just like watching myself in like old College Humor videos.
Yeah, 100%.
I was thinking of one this morning. I was thinking of one where it was like Grant was trying to kiss all of the
God.
everyone on the cast, and then it ends with me, Trav, and Zach actually kissing. And I was thinking of how weird that shoot was. But yeah,
I cannot imagine, and to still be working together all these years later, a testament to something, the quality of what you do together, the friendship behind the scenes. Yeah.
I think it's like the friendship, because I feel like it was such a special, College Humor specifically was like such a special place because you were just like best friends with everyone, and then we got to make sketches, and yeah, I would be like, well, this weird thing happened during the, in the writer's room, so now let's just make it a sketch. And yeah, it was so special. I fully knew it at the time, and now I just miss it. but I love Dropout stuff, obviously.
Well, it's very cool to see it transition from like the sketch first side of things to full-blown TV production. And there's so much that you've done within these shows that has like started its own spin-off lore. Like there's people that only know Katie as like Katie in the Bird game with Brennan and Carolyn. There's people that only know Katie through like Game Changer RATFISH winner. So congratulations on that, by the way. How does it feel to be your Eric's favorite? How does that feel?
That felt wild. I knew it was someone like some like freak, a fellow weirdo, like someone with chaotic energy, but it was so hard to, like, I had truly no idea during the game who that could possibly have been. But I really enjoy his sense of humor, and I love everything he does. So that was like finding out who it was after was a big deal for me. I was like, I cannot believe that he was in a couple rooms over this entire day. It was so cool. I love it.
Can we dig in on that? Like, what did happen when it was revealed to you guys that it was Eric? Like, did the group chat blow up? Like, what was that reaction like?
Yeah, we were all extremely surprised. I feel like we are the right age for it. Like I was reading some of the comments. I know like some people, the younger crowd might not know like Tim and Eric, but for me, like high school and college, like Tim and Eric were the epitome of like humor. I was so excited. And I feel like some of the other cast members have this as well, like where they were like, that was who the RATFISH was. It was wild. No, I was genuinely so happy. So it was great. It was a great reveal.
It was no idea. Shocking to me that people did not know who he was. Like, I was of the group watching going, holy shit, this makes so much sense. So that divide really was fascinating to watch.
It really was. But it was the thing where I was like, okay, so these people who are like not, who I saw like, who is this person? I was like, you just have to go visit his work because it's so funny. It's so good. And then
we've all sent the GIF of him with the head explosion universe and like the rental house cost. Like we've all sent those GIFs and not put context to it. Maybe I don't know. Yeah,
I love it.
But you won. You're the RATFISH winner, and you got your Billboard up, which the whole internet knew about that before the show was even announced. Hilariously so. What was your reaction to seeing people post your Billboard online and try to piece it together?
Yes. So that was, I'm not sure. Okay, so the Billboard came out months ago. Like it was in January, February, and it was like the end of January through like the beginning of March was when it was actually up in the middle of the busiest part of Los Angeles. And so when it like actually was up, I was like, so we can't hide this, right? Because I'm being tagged in, people are taking photos of the Billboard and videos, and like I'm being tagged So how do we handle this, kind of? And it was just like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, go ahead, post about it, and we'll figure it out. Like, it doesn't really matter like so who ends up winning. And like, also people don't know, because it was like 3 people ended up potentially getting Billboard, so it's like people aren't going to know exactly who won or how it went down. So it's like, that's the fun of watching these, right? It's like seeing how we get there, not necessarily like who wins in the end. But I was like, yeah, we're not going to be able to hide this. It's a giant billboard that went up before the episode aired. So I guess we didn't
I think even like the trailer for the season was out. Like, I think this was so early in the new season of Game Changer lore emerging. It was
months beforehand. It was months before the promo video. And I had been like, people were like mad at me, and I was like, listen, it's not me. It's like, I'm not the one that put up the billboard, and like, no one be mad at me. No one
should be mad at you. We have to get into some of the drama you've caused on the internet with eggs, and which I'm also on your side for. But before we even get there, as a Canadian show, did Michael Cera reach out to you? Like, did that connection get made because of the billboard?
So apparently he did like call the number, and we're pretty confident. So we did have it, and it was just like, hey, love the billboard idea. I knew nothing was gonna come of that. Like, I'm not that delusional, but I was like, I just like love Michael Cera, and I thought it'd be funny, and I wasn't really expecting like us to make a movie together. But it was fun, and I like that he actually did see it, and called the number, and that's really fun. I'm
so thrilled that he did see it and called the number. Like, that's incredibly, it feels like his sense of humor as well. So I'm sure you made his day. If you want to come to Canada and film a movie, you let us know. The Canadians will rally around this happening for sure. I also would love to. You would love to? Okay, let's make it happen. Canadians in the comments, let's get Katie and Michael funded. I also think there's a world where you do like the next CeraVe commercial with him. Yes. Like, let's get like a 2.0 going, Super Bowl next year or something.
I would love that so much. That commercial was so funny and so well done. I love stuff like that. That's like right up my alley. And I also use CeraVe, so. And I had never made the connection that it was his last name and, my products.
I know. It was shocking how good that commercial was. So CeraVe, let's make it happen.
Like, whoever put that together, like Michael Cera, CeraVe, like whoever made that connection deserves all the money in the world. They
1,000%. 1,000% agreed. Whatever intern, whatever social media marketer watched Barbie and was like, I have a Super Bowl ad. All the credit in the world to that person.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love it. I love how much drama the billboard caused. I loved how much drama the egg presentation caused on Smarty Pants as well. I think that you've actually innovated a new like comedy genre here with like voicemail first audio drama.
Yes.
Or like what is the space that you've carved out in the voicemail world?
I love it. It makes me laugh so hard. I told Sam, actually, I said, every time I'm on Dropout from now on, I'm going to have people call my number. It's not really my number, because that would be wild. It's like a Google voice. So I'm not even checking. I don't even know if people are still calling it. It just makes me laugh a lot that every time I'm on Dropout from now on, I will have some sort of call to action to call this phone number that I'm not connected to. And I just do a weird voice. I leave a weird voicemail, and it'll be a fun little bit for as long as they'll have me on Dropout. I plan on doing that.
Perfect. You're bringing back the art of the voicemail message.
Thank you.
I know a lot of people text only now. I think you're doing really inspiring work in this space, encouraging people to pick up the phone. Yeah. I think it's needed.
Thank you so much. And that's honestly what it's about. So I really appreciate that. Yeah.
You got it. 100%. I do think like international community, we need to step it up and start giving some international calls to this number as well. So like work to do on our end as well.
Absolutely.
We will champion that. On the show.
That's why I'm here today. I would like this to be sort of an international kind of group effort.
We'll work on it. I will certainly be championing that the next time you appear on Dropout with a phone call to action. Perfect. Excellent. I do wonder, like, I know lots of people were calling, a lot of people wanted to, like, chat with you. I feel like Katie Marovitch call-in show is something that, like, needs to happen.
You are a genius.
Let's do it.
You are so smart. That is such a good idea, truly. If you want to produce this with me, or, like, somehow make this, I love that idea so much. It's so funny.
Listen, producer Liz is here for you, Katie. Let's make it happen. Sam, call us. Let's do it. I do think that if anyone was going to give advice from, like, that Dropout core cast community, I'd want to hear it from you.
I'd love to do that. It reminds me of a show that I pitched for Dropout before Dropout was even a thing, which was, like, God, when was it? It was years ago when we were, like, first talking about doing some sort of subscription service. And I had wanted to do a show of me giving, like, unlicensed therapy to people. I have, like, had therapy since I was in 5th grade. So, like, I feel like I'm an expert, even though I have no training and I don't actually know anything. But my plan was to have people, like, call in and then I, like, help them through their problems and give terrible advice. I think that I could still do this. But I feel like this 100%. Is, like, kind of combining both of our ideas in a fun way.
Listen, let's make it happen. Dropout 2025. Flagship show for Katie. You've also created so many cool shows for Dropout that still exist, and it's very cool to see people find your shows now. Like, Kingpin Katie still stands. Like, let's get Kingpin Katie back. Let's share the Kingpin title with Alex, who's now the Kingpin of Never Stop blowing up. I feel like we're having a renaissance. We're bringing it back.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would like to do that. And I'd love to, like, revisit the Rank Room also.
Yes.
It's so fun.
They all stand the test of time, and it's very fun seeing people, like, revisit me, like, oh my god, Katie did that, and Katie did that. Yes! Katie did everything, folks! Get on the train! This is Katie we're talking about! It's very, very fun.
Thank you so much. I love it. Yeah, I would love to do it. I've actually thought about maybe doing the Rank Room as, like, a live show in LA, which I think could be fun.
We talked about that with Jordan as well. Oh, yes, Jordan was very much on the train of, let's see it. Dropout presents.
I have to do. Yeah, that would be so much fun. I should actually talk to Sam about that. I'm so bad.
I'll send a list to Sam after this. Please, and be like, please see timestamps XYZ in this episode.
We gotta get something. Listen, we need to have something come out of this, for sure.
I love it. Well, you've sold 2 tickets. Jordan and I will be there. Dropout presents Rank Room live. I'd love to see it. I do think that, like, there's some also fun, like, the YouTube concepts from back in the day that could come back around, like, Katie going viral. I loved that series. Last Meal is still very funny to me, and you picking your last meal. It's very fun to see you in character work versus the Dropout character work you do as yourself on these shows. Like, I feel like the new age Katie fans don't understand how deep the character work goes for you, which is maybe why Bridgerton is such an exciting property to see you come through on.
Absolutely. I love characters, and I always have. So it's fun. I do feel like when I'm on Dropout, like, I'm playing almost like a more chaotic version of myself, because I'm pretty, I wouldn't say normal, but I'm, like, not that level of wild.
Totally get it.
I do love, like, doing a real character, like, fully committed. And then it's fun doing, like, a character that's different from what every other person is doing on set. And just, like, I filmed, I shot a short film that ended up going to South by called Waffle. And I was this kind of, like, crazy lady, very rich and just, like, mad with power from being so wealthy. And but my friend was, like, the other lead was, like, playing someone who was, like, sad and frightened. And I remember being on set and being I was, like, doing my thing where I was, like, you know, pumping myself up and trying to be as, like, wild as possible. And then she was doing the opposite. And there was a moment on set where I was like, oh, I am annoying her so much. I'm, like, being so annoying. Because I was, like, trying to pump myself up. And she was, like, trying to cry at the moment. And I was like, this does not work together. We need to be in, like, separate rooms. But I kind of love when that happens, because when you see, like, actors, like, kind of getting into character, and if it is this kind of, like, wild character, like, seeing how they transform on set, just, like, not even when they're shooting, just, like, getting ready for the role is really fun.
100%.
So I like doing that. Yeah, Bitcherton is like a great chance for me to kind of revisit. I haven't done like character stuff in a long time, I'd say. Except for like, you know, I'm basically myself.
You're a character version of yourself for Dropout, surely. The same way Brennan says he's not quite as antagonistic as sometimes he comes across in the Game Changer.
There's a difference. There's absolutely a difference. And like, I know what I bring to the table, so I know how to like heighten that version of myself. But I would say like all of it is like, you know, based in truth. Like, you know, I always think like actors playing roles that they're like really well known for, I'm like, well, that's probably like mostly them. And like, so it's like an easier role for them to play. And then it just seemed more truthful, and like it ended up being like the best casting for it or whatever. But yeah, no, you're definitely right. I'm not exactly that. And yeah.
So how far are you from Violet Bitcherton, who the description of Violet makes me scream, because this is from the Kickstarter for folks who haven't seen the page. Violet Bitcherton is the dopey cousin that was rejected by every suitor in Bath. Like, yes. Katie, that's wild. That is a wild character description. Who is she?
Yes, that actually is pretty similar to me. I love playing kind of just like dopey characters who are just like don't have much going for them. I talked about this with Jordan, but just like low status is really fun to play, where it's like this person has nothing to lose because they've already lost everything, and they are so deeply low status that it's also fun for the other characters because it's like someone that we all have permission to kind of shit on, and that's also fun. Like, it's just fun all around. But I feel like I keep saying in interviews, I keep saying Cousin George. I don't mean cousin, I mean Cousin Greg from Succession. Was like in season 1, Cousin Greg, yes. Succession was like my go-to because I loved that character so much. And I was like, I would love to play this character in kind of a similar environment, really, where it's like a high status family with money and power who could lose it at any time. And so bringing that same kind of energy to this was fun. And then not having to do an accent was great.
Well, can we talk about that? Yeah. Because that's, for folks that don't know that Bridgerton is audio only, this is a podcast first take on the genre. Hearing some of the performances that go so full accent, dialect, vocab choice, and then hearing you in your voice talk about your arm wrestling history.
Everyone go around and guess what age you think is the youngest person that I beat at arm wrestling. Everyone go around.
There's only 2 of us here left.
Okay, well, the 2 of you. Guess the youngest age.
A child.
You guess.
I'm
what
gonna
do
say
you guess?
8.
2 years old. 2 years old. I beat a 2-year-old at arm wrestling.
That's practically a baby. I don't think you should be arm wrestling babies.
Well, it's a toddler, technically. Like, not to get too technical, but...
You give such range to this family. Talking about making that choice for Violet.
Yes, it was a choice. I feel like there's like, I think Brian doesn't do an accent either, but then everyone else is so good with their accents, and I don't know exactly. So I think it was just like, oh, I just really want to be like Cousin Greg. Like, I think that character is easier to do with like just my accent and my actual like voice. Yeah. And it was just, it's just, I felt like I could be more true to the character by like not putting it on. Also, it's a lot of work to have to like do that. It's like my brain can only do one thing. So for me, it's like, let's be the character and be like authentic in being the character, and like, and that would be just my voice.
It's fantastic. I think it's so fitting. It's so wonderful. I was just chatting with Brian, and we were talking about some of the funny choices that were made in the pilot, one being the Katie's in the mud, Violet's in the mud choice, and having to audibly say like, no, you're covered in mud. Like, that was very funny to me as a listener and watcher of Bridgerton and My Lady Jane, and how they have to play so much into those kinds of environments and moments, but where y'all are audio only, it's very much like, you're covered in mud. Let's remember that as we keep going along. And Brian's reaction to that was, well, you know, Katie's so method that we had to pause so Katie could go cover herself in mud.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you want to talk me through some of the method acting that went into this pilot?
No, that's totally a lie. I did not do that. I would not. That is wild, Brian. This is a message for Brian. And don't spread rumors around, Brian. Yes. No, for me, the methodness of it is, well, like I just said, like with when I shot the short film where I'm like kind of slowly trying to like get a little crazier throughout the shoot date. Like I definitely like started with like kind of baggy clothes, like I don't know, just like changed my demeanor. So like while we were shooting, I was definitely like my stance was a bit less confident, and it does help to like sort of like embody it. When I do voiceover like auditions and stuff, like I notice like I'm kind of becoming, so if it's like a little girl, I'll be like little, and then if it's like you know, someone more confident, you know, it helps for acting, I think, to like
100%
sort of embody it and then try to look like it as well. So
yeah. And Brian also did reference to your intro when you're in the ditch and how excited you were to start your character from the ditch, and he made the point to say far away from your microphone you're going ow, ow, to like really get into the presence of where this character was.
Ow. I think I was like doing that for a long time. With the full, knowing I was not actually like being recorded, just
feeling into it. You're stuck in it.
You have to get into it. Yeah. I wonder if like that, if I could like go back and like look at everything that I've ever done and like what I was wearing, and see how that like changed how I behaved in the video. Like I think that would be interesting.
That feels like a job for, who is it, Dimension 20 Stylist, or the Instagram account that posts the outfits everybody wears on Dropout. I feel like we got to get them on the case of, can you start mapping Katie's outfits to performance and episodes, please?
Absolutely, because there was an episode of Dirty Laundry I did the first season where whoever was like in charge of hair and makeup that day knocked it out of the park. Like my hair was like the best it has ever looked, and I remember feeling like, oh my god, I look really good. And then I think like I was like a little more confident and like doing different bits than I normally would have. So it is interesting. Yeah, honestly, this is like a good scientific study to do. Like how does Katie Marovitch's acting change based on what she looks like?
I love it. No, 100%. I think the fans will eat that up. We'll see a Reddit thread in like 36 hours after this episode gets posted. Yes. Someone will take the mantle up and start tracking this for you, for sure. One of the other choices I loved in Bridgerton was like how this cast came together. And I think a lot about how Dropout feels like one of the only places right now where people can come together again and again and again and continue working together over so many different types of projects and over so many years. And seeing a different combo of y'all together on Bridgerton feels like an extension of that thinking. Like it's very fun to see you guys come together in a different way. What's it like collaborating with these folks and kind of stretching a different way into a character medium versus the improv specific shows that you do for Dropout that are more parody of yourself?
Yeah, it's really fun seeing how everyone changes based on what we're doing. I think for me, what I noticed it almost the most when we were doing Smarty Pants. I don't know if you watched it, but it was like,
oh yeah.
Okay, so like everyone, it was such a different format for all of us. And, you know, it was like very much so like school. And I think a lot of us were nervous beforehand because it was like the first time since like high school or college since we had to like give a presentation. And I know I was very anxious, and it was just so interesting seeing like these comedians who do like the dumbest characters then get up and have to like present something that they've researched. And so this feels like, Bridgerton feels like, for a lot of the Dropout people, like something that would naturally happen for them, or like that they would naturally do. And so it is still like kind of in the same family, I'd say, as like, you know, it's like improv and like pretty nerdy, which is like all of us. So it feels like related to what we've always done for Dropout, but also like, you know, a different style since we're not on camera. It's just a podcast. But Smarty Pants felt really different in my opinion.
That's so interesting. I love a PowerPoint party, so I'm all over Smarty Pants. I feel like that is my lane of comedy. That it's so good.
Do you do them? Have you done
Oh
them?
yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah. Every birthday, we do a PowerPoint party. Everyone gets together. Everyone makes a PowerPoint.
I love that.
I'm waiting for my invite onto the show, frankly. So we'll work.
Yes.
Sam, adding that as a timestamp to my list for Sam. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I do think that you coined, like, the hot girl lingo of the summer with Lose My Number.
You don't believe me? You think I'm up here lying
It's
to
that
you?
kid grown up.
Wow.
Listen, lose my number. And also, go yourself.
I think you did that. I think you really hit something with that people are really latching on to.
I've said it a few times.
Yeah.
I've said it a few times. I've been saying that for years.
Katie Marovitch, Lose My Number.
My Number.
I want a song. I want merch. I think, like, this is the motto we've been waiting for. Lose my number. Let's get it on a billboard. The next
powerful.
billboard.
Absolutely.
Powerful.
I would love another billboard to just say that.
Lose my number. And
Lose
then
my
no
number
on the billboard. Just that.
Use it.
It's perfect. It's so good. I love it. It's so funny. I think that seeing you guys go audio only, like, giving us a different extension of the work that folks who maybe only see the Dropout work or have just become familiar with this cast through Dropout, it's cool to see you go a different way, to a different swing than what we're used to. And for those that have been watching since 2017, College Humor looks back on favorite videos, it feels kind of a return to some of that level of humor to see you go back. So very cool project to see you guys do together, and people still have time to support it and donate to the Kickstarter, which is also
only a few more days. We're so close, so if you can give even $1, it'd be very helpful. Or share it. You know, sharing is always very helpful as well. So.
And what are you excited about to see when this gets funded and you get to launch into the season? Like, where's Violet gonna go from here?
I would love to see something good happen to Violet. I really would. Like, she's starting so low, almost
starting in a ditch.
Yes, truly, like, rock bottom. She's starting rock bottom, and my hope. I actually, even when I did the Mice and Murder, like, I wanted something good to happen. I want just a nice ending for everyone. So for the same thing, like, I would like her to maybe find love, which is important to her, even though she's been rejected so much, and maybe you would think she doesn't care about that, but she actually does. And maybe find, like, a good friend in one of her cousins or something like that. But I definitely am, like, rooting for her.
Yeah, I think we're all rooting for Violet.
Yeah.
It's very easy to root for Violet and her arm wrestling, mud diving in the ditch tendencies. And who knows? This, like, broken leg situation feels like there's maybe a spark of something starting. So lots to look forward to, lots of reason to support the project. And of course, you're always all over Dropout. So anything exciting in the works that you can't wait for folks to see, or anything coming from that direction for folks to look forward to?
Oh, well, I feel like everything that I've already shot is out, but I think that I might, actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything.
Okay.
But yes, I'll be in an upcoming thing, which means nothing to you. So, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
more
so
Katie
look
coming.
out for
More
me.
Katie coming.
I'll be on something soon. And also, we shoot it, like, and then it comes out so much later that this literally means nothing to anyone.
It's an evergreen statement for folks in the future. There's always going to be more coming from Katie with Dropout.
Yes.
Stay tuned. I love it.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you for rebranding that in a nicer way.
Listen, PR by trade. I think that your $1,000 PR training from Colleen was excellent.
What would you say to people who believe men are just inherently funnier than women?
I would say... I would say a lot of men are funny. That's true. But I would also say a lot of women are also funny, and a lot of, non-binary people, there's so much funny to go around, sort of. No one is funnier than anyone, specifically.
Left hand.
I would say there's no need to make comparisons.
Land that plane? Land.
And I would say no one is funnier than anyone.
Wow.
I would say
You just kept it vague,
I would-
repeated yourself a lot, and were humble.
I would say everyone is equally funny.
Everyone's equally funny.
Everyone is equally funny.
I really enjoyed that segment. It hit all the boxes for me.
So
do you feel like
you have like a PR background, truly?
I've got a whole PR degree that needs to go on the wall. For real. Yeah. We went from PR to producer life.
That's so cool.
I was all over that segment. I was like, get it, Katie, get your key messages out there.
Colleen is also so funny, like on her own. Like she should do Dropout. She's busy, but she should do Dropout things. She's so funny. She honestly
can work on the call-in show. She can work on the call-in show with you. There it is.
That's a great idea. But she is so good, and I was like, she made that segment. Like, it was so fun to do. I loved that so much.
So great. I think also a testament to like the friendship point you made earlier. Like you felt like you were really supported in that by everyone that was with you. So sweet to watch.
It was like honestly one of my best Dropout days. Like I absolutely, I got there with a huge smile on my face. We did the my segment first, and I was like screaming. I had so much fun. I was screaming, and then that giant smile stayed plastered on my face the entire day. It was a blast.
So good. I love hearing that. I love that there's space for that kind of work right now in general for people in this union and in this industry. It's so nice that there are shows that are genuinely making the talent as happy as the people that get to see it on the other end.
Oh, our guests have arrived. How lovely. They must be here to find out more about our new improvised Regency podcast. Esther, my darling eldest unwed daughter, come tell them more.
Yes, Mama. Bridgerton is a new podcast inspired by the stories of Jane Austen and the salacious scandals of the well-to-do. Oh, Davis, the vicar's son who is definitely not in love with me. Did you have something to say?
Only this. Bridgerton's got an all-star cast featuring Ify Wadiway, Carolyn Page, Katie Marovitch, Alex Songshaw, Cassie Wilson, and me, Brian Flaherty.
My boy, I don't know who any of these people are. What I do know is our Kickstarter is live and it is full chock-a-block with great rewards for everyone who chooses to donate.
Rewards like ad-free episodes, exclusive talkbacks, signed posters from the cast, producer credit, and physical copies of the Lady Bigwither's gossip sheet. Ooh.
Thank you, Gwendolyn, my other unwed daughter. Very informative.
I too am an unwed daughter.
You're an unwed cousin.
Oh, bother. Say, anyway, who is this Lady Bigwithers? She's got dirt on everybody.
Her identity certainly is a mystery, but what's not a mystery is that we need your help. This all-or-nothing Kickstarter campaign for the first season of Bridgerton is running from June 13th to July 13th. So click on the link or go to Bridgerton.com to donate. Ow.
My boy!
Father, what is it?
The funds will go to pay the cast and crew and make this a side production. And it'll be contributing to their healthcare and pension funds. And there's nothing fancier than healthcare.
If you want a taste of this improvised comedy about the Bitcherton family secrets, scandals, and shenanigans, Bitcherton Episode 1 is out right now, everywhere you listen to podcasts.
And when we fund our season, we have a bunch of great guests on our dance card.
Guests? Like who?
Girls, compose yourselves. Our guests will be some of your favorite comedians from screen and stage.
Wow, I love comedians.
Who do you love? Never mind. If we don't make our goal, then we can't complete this first 10-episode season of Bridgerton. So go to Bridgerton.com or Kickstarter to donate right now.
Girls, go practice your embroidery or something. We must find you some husband.
Yes, Mama.
Oh, I'll come too.
And I've got a sermon to work on.
Hello? Where is everyone? I guess I'll just head to Bridgerton.com and donate and find out.
Ow.